Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Savannah Chrisley reveals being distant from parents since prison release. Chrisley Knows Best star Savannah Chrisley has worked tirelessly since 2022 to free her parents from prison. The couple was imprisoned in 2022 after being indicted by a federal grand jury for tax evasion and other financial crimes. They received a pardon from President Donald Trump in early 2025. They have been attempting to reintegrate into society and their family since. Savannah, who fought so hard to free her parents, recently admitted she has struggled since they came home. Keep reading to find out more. Savannah Chrisley carries an emotional burden. In 2022, Todd and Julie Chrisley, stars of Chrisley Knows Best, have been in prison since 2022 when they were indicted for tax evasion. Todd and Julie's daughter, Savannah, fought to free her parents from prison. She launched social media campaigns, lobbied lawmakers, and even the president. In early 2025, Savannah's efforts to free her parents paid off when her parents were issued a presidential pardon by President Donald Trump. The Chrisley family has had many emotional and mental health struggles during the time of Todd and Julie's incarceration. In addition to fighting for her parents' freedom, Savannah was responsible for raising her two youngest siblings. At the time of their parents' arrest, Chloe and Grayson were minors, so Savannah became their legal guardian. She was responsible for managing the legal issues of her parents' absence, supporting her younger siblings, and carrying a heavy emotional burden. Savannah Chrisley shares feelings towards her parents. Savannah Chrisley uses her podcast, Unlocked, to fight for her parents and share her journey of their imprisonment. She admitted that she often felt overwhelmed and alone. On her podcast, Chrisley revealed that she had no opportunity to rest or heal while her parents were gone. Savannah expressed that she had to constantly push forward without breaking down. Her responsibilities weighed heavily on her emotionally. In a new episode of Unlocked, Savannah Chrisley sat down with her parents and opened up about how she was feeling now that they are home. Savannah told her parents that she feels that there is a strange distance between her and them. She expressed her love for her parents, but said that something felt off since their return home. Savannah Chrisley shared that her mother, Julie, is showing signs of trauma since her release from prison. She said, however, that her father, Todd, was hiding his feelings about his experience. Chrisley explained that she felt disconnected from Todd and Julie. Todd expressed concerns that everyone had had a chance to rest except for Savannah, and he felt that was why she was still carrying such a heavy emotional burden. Todd Chrisley expressed that it has been hard to reintegrate as a family, and he understands his daughter's struggles. Savannah Chrisley has never been one to shy away from the truth, even when it hurts. The former reality TV star, once the bubbly center of Chrisley Knows Best, recently opened up in a candid, emotional interview that has fans buzzing with shock, sympathy, and more questions than answers. Sitting down in a quiet Nashville studio with soft lighting and minimal makeup, Savannah revealed what many had suspected, but few dared to ask outright. She's been emotionally distant from her parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, ever since their incarceration. It's hard, Savannah admitted, her voice trembling slightly as she tucked a loose strand of blonde hair behind her ear. I thought I'd feel this overwhelming need to call them every day, to write them long letters and keep them updated about every detail of my life. But instead, I've just felt numb and guilty about that. She paused, letting the silence settle. I guess I didn't expect to feel so far away from them, even when they're calling, even when I hear their voices. Savannah's words carry the weight of a young woman forced into premature adulthood. Since Todd and Julie reported to federal prison in early 2023, Savannah has been juggling more than just grief. She's taken on the responsibility of raising her 17-year-old brother, Grayson, and 10-year-old niece, Chloe. Overnight, she went from influencer and fashionista to full-time guardian and emotional anchor
being
for
the
a
daughter,
fractured family. She said quietly. Now I'm the parent. I don't get to fall apart. Savannah admitted that when her parents were first sentenced, she believed she'd be visiting them regularly, making prison phone calls a daily ritual. But reality hit different. There's this pressure to keep everything positive when I talk to them, she said. Like if I let them hear how exhausted I am or how much I'm struggling, they'll feel like they failed me. And I don't want that for them. But in trying to protect her parents from her pain, Savannah says she's lost the connection that once tethered them so tightly. I used to call my mom every morning, she reflected, her eyes misting. We'd talk about my makeup routine, what Chloe was wearing, dumb stuff like what we were gonna eat for lunch. Now, when I hear her voice on the prison phone, I don't know what to say. Everything feels censored, like we're pretending. Todd's situation is even more complicated. Always the loudest voice in the room, the patriarch who once micromanaged everything from Savannah's dating life to her college major, now only gets brief, tightly monitored conversations. Savannah confessed that hearing her father's voice from behind bars often feels surreal, as though she's listening to an echo of the man she once knew. He's still Todd, she said, smiling faintly. Still funny, still trying to make us laugh. But something's shifted. Maybe in me. I think part of me resents him, and that's hard to admit. It's the first time Savannah has publicly acknowledged any bitterness toward her parents since their sentencing. While she stood by them in court and in countless social media posts, the strain is finally beginning to show. I don't know if I've forgiven them yet, she admitted. Not because they went to prison, but because they left me to clean it all up. And that makes me feel selfish, but it's real. Despite the emotional distance, Savannah insists the love hasn't disappeared. It's just morphed into something quieter, less idealistic. She says her relationship with Julie remains gentler, though it's punctuated by long pauses and short updates. I think my mom is trying to be strong for me too, she said. But sometimes I wish she'd stop pretending. I want her to cry. I want her to tell me it sucks, because it does. While Savannah doesn't visit as often as she expected, she does make the occasional trip, especially with Chloe in tow. She admits the visits are more for Chloe's sake than her own. She needs to see them. She needs to remember they're still real people, that they're still her family. And I need her to have that, even when I'm struggling to hold onto it myself. Savannah also spoke about the unique emotional bind of trying to protect her younger siblings while navigating her own grief. They ask me questions I can't answer, she said. Like, why did this happen? Or, when is Minnie coming home? And all I can say is, soon, or, we're praying. But the truth is, I don't know, and that's terrifying. There have been bright moments. Savannah's podcast, Unlocked, has taken on a new life as a space for raw honesty, allowing her to share bits of her experience with fans and supporters. But she says she often feels like she's living two lives, one curated for the public and another weighed down by private struggles. I know people think I'm strong, she said, and I try to be, but there are nights I lay in bed staring at the ceiling wondering how I got here. How we all did. Savannah also hinted that therapy has helped her make peace with the distance from her parents. Not in the sense of cutting ties, but rather creating emotional boundaries that allow her to function. I used to think that being close meant talking all the time, being emotionally in sync. But now, I see that love sometimes looks like survival. Like keeping your head down and getting through the day. Like not calling because it hurts too much. As for the future, Savannah remains hopeful, if not entirely sure what it holds.